Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yoga for Self-Love with Kim. I am Kim. This will be a short, gentle practice. We will bring in some earth element, attend to our foundation, whatever parts of our body are coming into contact with the earth, with a mat, and focus on the feet, the legs, and the lower body. You've just come through the holiday season, which can be a little bit stressful, a little hectic. You can find yourself a little flighty, maybe agitated, a little unmoored. So we're going to bring in some earth energy today, some grounding. We will push down into the earth in order to lift up. So grab a block and a strap if you have them, and just have them handy. Then find your way to your mat. Bring yourself down onto your back. We'll start in a little mini Shavasana. So you can extend your legs down to the outer corners of the mat. And bring the arms away from the body. Find some space in the armpits. And turn the palms either up to face the ceiling, or for a little bit more grounding action, you can turn the palms down. And just allow yourself to land, to begin to let your body relax and soften. Release the weight of your back body down to the earth. If this does not feel okay for your back, please feel free to bend your knees and bring your feet to the mat with the knees pointing up, or you could take the feet a little bit wider to the outer edges of your mat and let the knees knock in towards each other. So if the legs extended is a little bit too much on your low back, then please take one of these options. Make yourself comfortable, get comfy. And then let everything get heavy. Whatever parts of you are landing on the earth, maybe the backs of the heels, backs of the legs, the hips, buttocks, sacrum, the back of the rib cage, backs of the arms, the hands, the shoulders, the back of the skull. Let it all just root down towards the earth. Imagine that you can let go of any holding or gripping and allow the earth to hold you and support you, to love you, to comfort you. Just let it all relax, relaxing through your feet, your toes, arches of feet, soles of feet. Relaxing through the tops of your feet. Relax your heels and your ankles, your legs, front and back. Relax your hips, pelvis, buttocks and belly. Relax through your back, low back, mid back and upper back. Relax through the front of the torso, your rib cage, your chest. The collarbones soften and widen. Relax shoulders, arms, front and back, hands and the fingers. Relax your neck, your throat, and your jaw. Imagine any tension just melting away from your jaw. Relax your face, your eyes, your eyebrows, cheekbones, temples, forehead, and scalp. Relax and open through the crown of your head. Whole body relaxed. I invite you, as always, to check in with yourself and notice how you're feeling. Notice what's happening for you, body, mind, spirit. Check in with your breath and notice the quality of your breath. If it's possible, allow the breath to deepen and smooth out. And I invite you to bring in the intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, compassionate with yourself as you move through this practice. And if you choose to carry this intention off of the mat, out into your day, out into the world with you. I begin to call back your energy. Begin to slowly wake yourself up, bringing in a little bit of movement first into the fingers and the toes. Maybe beginning to roll at wrists and ankles. Find any movement that feels good, that feels intuitive to you. Let your body yawn, sigh, wiggle, and stretch. If the legs are not already extended down the mat, then extend them. Reach down and out through the toes as you reach up and out through the fingers, stretching long through the body. Breathing into every nook and cranny of your body. Relaxing everything. And then bend your knee, right knee, draw that knee up into the chest. And take a breath or two here. Letting that back of that left leg be heavy, pressing down through that left heel as you hug that right knee into the chest. Then release the right leg down. And we'll bend the left knee, draw the left knee into the chest. And then release. Again, let's draw right knee into the chest. Get heavy down through the back of that left leg. And then we'll switch, release right leg back down to the mat, hug the left knee in. Let the back of that right leg get heavy. And then let's draw right knee into the chest also. So hugging both knees into the chest, gently rock yourself from side to side. And then bring yourself to center. Take hands to knees or shins, inner edges of the feet together, inner legs together. Begin to circle your knees around. A few little circles. And then switch the direction of your circles. And then bring your knees to center. Release the feet down to the mat. Take the arms down alongside your body, palms to press down. And now let's lift the knees up. Let's bring the knees to line up over the hips. Shins parallel-ish to the floor. Press down through the low back. And then we'll gently tap the toes down to the mat. Lift the shins back up. And a couple more times, gently lowering the feet down. Tap the mat with the toes. Draw the legs back up. A couple more times. Keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. Your face and your jaw nice and relaxed. And then draw knees back into the chest. Now we'll take hands to back of the thighs. Hug the thighs in towards the chest. Send your feet up towards the ceiling with the knees bent. Coming into a happy baby modification. Rooting down through the back of your sacrum. And you either stay here, or if it's available to you, you can reach your hands up for your feet. Grab a hold of the inner edges, outer edges, heels, shins, calves, whatever you can grab a hold of. You could also use your strap here if you like. Just loop it around the balls of both feet and gently pull down. Drawing the knees down towards the armpits. And you could stay at center here, or if you like, find a little gentle rock from side to side. And then bring yourself back to center. Another deep breath here in your happy baby. And then slowly release your feet. And now grab a hold of your strap. And then we'll take the center of the strap to ball of the right foot. So strap in the hands. Press that right heel up towards the mat. Or I'm sorry, up towards the ceiling. As you gently pull down with the strap, bring the elbows down to the mat, shoulders down to the mat. You could keep left knee bent or extend that left leg down along the mat. A few deep breaths into the back of this right leg. And then we'll take the strap in the right hands, reach that right hand up the strap towards the foot, take the ends of the strap into the left hand. Now slowly open this right leg out to the right side as you keep rooting down through that left hip. You could even take your left hand to rest on that left hip if you like. So you open this right leg out to your degree. And then bring the right leg back up to center. Now switch hands on the strap. We'll take the left hand up the strap towards the foot, ends of the strap, move into the right hand now. You bring that right leg over towards the left side, keeping the back of your pelvis down on the mat. So we're not taking this all the way over into a full twist here. Just keeping the back of the sacrum, back of the pelvis down. And then we'll reach that right leg back up to center. Another little tug on the strap as you take one more deep breath into the back of that right leg, pressing that right heel up. And then bend the right knee. Switch it over to the other side. Let's take that loop of your strap or middle of the strap to the ball of that left foot now. Left heel presses up towards ceiling. Right knee can stay bent or you extend the leg down along the mat. Strap in each hand. Press that left heel up. Elbows, shoulders relax down towards the mat. And then we will begin to take the left hand up the strap towards the foot, ends of the strap into the right hand, and then gently open this left leg out to the left. Again, if you like, you could take right hand down to press down the front of that right hip. Keep it steady, keep it grounded. And then we'll lift that left leg up to center. Right hand moves up the strap towards the foot, ends of your strap. Move into that left hand and you bring that left leg over towards the right, keeping back of the sacrum pelvis down on the mat here. And then let's bring that left leg back up. One more deep, smooth breath here. And then slowly bend that left knee. You can move your strap off to the side for now. And then grab one of your blocks. Bring it down onto the back again. This time knees bent. Feet planted on the ground, knees pointing up to the ceiling. We'll take our block and tuck it right in between the inner thighs. Hands back to the mat, palms pressing down, press into your feet. And begin to lift your hips up, taking it into a little baby bridge, starting with a little half bridge here. Surrounding this line from the knees to the hips to the shoulders. And then from here, we'll begin to lift the hips up a little bit higher if that's available to you. Maybe you wiggle the shoulders underneath you a little bit. Maybe interlace the fingers underneath you. Press the arms and the hands down into the mat as you lift the hips up, but keep hugging that block in between the thighs. Start activating through the inner legs, through the deep core line of the body. And then we'll slowly unclasp the hands, release arms out to the sides, lower sacrum down to the mat. Pause for a breath here. And then let's take it back up into our bridge again, keeping the block in between the thighs. Palms come back down to the mat. Press down into your feet. Begin to peel the hips and the pelvis up off of the mat. Lift it up. Maybe you walk the shoulders in a little bit. Maybe you interlace the fingers underneath you. Send the hips up a little bit higher. And then slowly release the arms back out to the sides. So you lower yourself all the way back down to the mat. And then we'll pluck the block out from between the legs. And now rock and roll yourself up to a seated position, or roll yourself over to one side and then find your way up. And then let's take it into Vajrasana for a moment. So come back to sit on your heels. So knees down, shins down, tops of the feet down onto the mat. Come back to sit on the heels. And now we'll take the hands forward, tuck the toes under behind you. Maybe adjust your little toes. Let them come down with the rest of the toes and join the party. Walk your hands back, either up onto the thighs or just back towards the legs a little bit. Keep the heels hugging in towards each other. And again, maybe hands come up onto the thighs. For a little bit less intensity, hands stay forward on the mat. And then we'll take hands back down, untuck the toes, come back to sit on the heels. Hands come back to rest on the thighs for a moment. And then let's do that one more time to open up through the bottoms of the feet. Tuck your toes under, heels hug in towards the midline. Walk your hands back towards the legs or maybe up onto the thighs. And then we'll walk it back out. Let's bring it into a table now. Knees lined up under the hips, wrists lined up under the shoulders. Rock yourself side to side. Bring yourself to center. Let's tuck the toes under. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Press down into the hands, into the finger pads. Lift your hips up and back. We'll find a downward dog. Press down and out through the hands as you lift the hips up and back, rooting down into the heels. So heels are reaching towards the mat, whether they get there or not, doesn't matter, no big deal. And then you can keep this bend in your knees as we're just getting started and warmed up here. And begin to pedal out your legs or bend in straight in your knees, or find some other movement, rocking back and forth or side to side. And then we'll roll up onto balls of feet and then press heels towards the mat. Again, roll up onto balls of feet, press heels towards the mat. And then we'll walk our hands back towards the feet. Bring ourselves into a ragdoll forward fold at the back of the mat. Big or little bend in your knees here. We're hinging from the hips. We're not rounding it out from the low back. So belly to thighs. Let your head go. Drop the head down. Hands to the mat or grab a hold of your opposite elbows. Maybe give the head a little shake or nod. Hips a little rock from side to side, and maybe even swing the arms. Or you can just keep it all at center if you're really digging that, and just allow yourself to unfold here. Weight of the head rooting down into the earth at the same time as you're rooting down through the feet. And then let's take hands to the hips, press into your feet, lift your heart and your belly up off of your thighs and come all the way up to stand. Let's bring our palms together at the heart. Coming into Tadasana, so feet are about hip width ish. For a moment, lift up your toes and spread your toes. Root down through the ball under that big toe, ball under that little toe, the center of the heel. Feel the weight of your skeleton rooting down into the earth. Relax the toes down. Feel the lift up through the soft tissues of the body, the arches of the feet. Feel the lift up through the inner legs, lift up through the belly, sweeping in and up of the low back, heart lifting, crown of the head reaching up, sides of the body nice and long, some length up through the spine. Imagine spaciousness through the vertebral discs. And release the arms down. Now let's bend the knees, send your bum back, hips back, knees back, arms sweep forward, chair pose. Again, lift up, spread the toes, root down into your heels, and then release the toes back down to the mat. Press down into your feet. Sweep the arms out to the sides and up as you come up to stand. Palms come back down together at the heart. Let's take it back into our chair again. Send your bum back, hips back, knees back, arms sweeping forward. Relax through the jaw. Bring a little smile to your face. Press into your feet, reach yourself all the way back up, and hands come back down together at the heart. Let's take it one more time into our chair. Bend the knees, send your bum back, sweep your arms forward. Press into the feet, rise all the way back up. Let's take palms back together at the heart. And now step 2, face the long edge of your mat. We'll step our feet out wide. Feet parallel-ish. Arms reach wide, 5-pointed star. Then release your arms down. Let's turn the toes out, turn the heels in. Bend your knees. Send your knees out towards the toes. Lower your hips down. We'll come into temple pose. Cactus the arms and bring the arms up. Fingers reaching up, elbows lined up underneath the fingers, heart lifted, skull back. Let yourself drop down just a little bit lower, and then press into the feet. Lift yourself up, release the arms down. We'll turn the feet back into parallel-ish and open arms wide. Let's do it again. Arms come back down, turn toes out, turn heels in, bend your knees, lower it down. Let's take hands to the thighs this time. Pressing the hands down into the thighs, lifting up through the crown of the head. And then arms come back up into that cactus arms. Press into your feet, lift yourself back up, arms come back down. Let's turn feet back in, arms reach wide. We'll take it into our temple pose one more time. Turn the toes out, turn the heels in, bend your knees, lower yourself down. Arms reach up into those cactus arms. And then press into the feet, straighten the legs, release the arms down, arms come back out to the sides one more time, 5-pointed star, and then release the arms down, step your feet together, come back to back of your mat. Let's take the arms out to the sides and up, palms together overhead, soften your knees, pull your hips back, we'll hinge it from the hips, coming back into our forward fold. Again, bigger little bend in the knees if you need it here. And then bend your knees a lot so you can get your hands down on the mat and walk your hands forward. Walking yourself back out into a downward dog. Breathe. Be still or find that movement again. And then release knees down to the mat. Coming back into Vajrasana, sitting on the heels. Then we'll drop over to one hip. Sweep your legs around. Coming into Dandasana, staff pose. Legs extended out in front of you. Toes drawing back towards your face. Could have big or little bend in the knees here. And let's take the fingers down underneath the shoulders. Press down into the fingers. Lengthen up through your spine. You could also sit up on something here. If you find that as you're sitting on the mat, your back is rounding out or rolling backwards, then you want to bring yourself into a nice alignment, upright alignment of the spine. So you could sit up on the edge of a block or a blanket to make that happen, or keep the big or little bend in the knees. Fingers pressing down into the earth. Breath or two here. Maybe you begin to work the backs of the legs down a little bit with time, or not. Or reach the arms up along the ears, and then fold it from the hips. Hinge it forward. Bring your belly to your thighs. Reach hands for feet or shins or mat. Heart reaching for toes. And then lift yourself back up. Take fingers underneath shoulders again. Press down into the finger pads. Lengthen up through the spine. Find that bigger little bend in the knees. We'll hinge it forward from the hips. Again, belly to thighs. Hands reaching down the mat towards feet or shins. Let's lift it up one more time. Fingers underneath the shoulders. Sit up nice and tall. And then reach arms up. Fold it forward. Lift yourself back up. And then bend your knees. Reach forward with the arms and slowly lower yourself all the way back down to the mat. Back to where we started, Shavasana. Extend the legs out. Reach the arms out, or you find your Shavasana. Close your eyes. Check back in and notice how you feel. Come back to our intention to be gentle, kind, patient, loving, and compassionate with ourselves. And give yourself a little love. Now take your palms together, rub them together, warm up the hands. And then bring your hands to rest on your cheeks, over your ears, down on your neck, one hand on top of the other, and then hands to rest on your heart. Send yourself some love. Cross the arms over the chest, give yourself a little squeeze. Open the arms out to the sides, and then we'll cross the arms again, this time the other arm on top. Another little squeeze. And then release. Roll yourself slowly over to one side. And use your hands to press yourself all the way up. Come back into a seated position. Bring your palms together at your heart. Thank you so much for sharing this gentle, earthy, grounding practice with me. I hope it helped. I hope you feel good. With love and gratitude, namaste.